solving linear equations. So the goal of this video is to hopefully by the end of it, you know how to solve a linear equation. Let's go over some key vocab words. So variable, right? It's an unknown quantity represented by a letter. An equation is a mathematical statement with two expressions that set equal to each other. And what do you do with an equation is you try to solve it. So we're going to try solving the equation. It's to find the value of that variable that's in the equation. Inverse operation is a primary method we use to solve an equation. It's when we undo an arithmetic operation. So if we have an addition, we want to do subtraction to get rid of it. If we have subtraction, we want to do addition. Multiply, divide, cancel each other out. That's an inverse operation. Properties of equality are all the properties you use to justify solving, and then following the steps of solving the equation. Where the main idea is you want to do PEMDAS and read reverse. Right? When you simplify, you follow PEMDAS, and when you solve, you go the opposite way. So step one though is just to simplify, and we're going to say it's implied. Simplify each side. And that's something we're going to focus more on this video than we did in the previous video. So we're going to simplify each side first. And then we're going to want to isolate a variable on one side. Left or right, doesn't really matter. Then we want to generally eliminate the addition subtraction portion of it first. Example down here, right? We want to get rid of the plus 8 first. So we'll subtract 8 from both sides. And then once you do that, you eliminate the multiplication and division side. The thing right next to the x. That's the last thing you want to do. And that's kind of the concept. So let's do a few. So this first one here. So notice there's the equal sign. So it's an equation that we want to solve. Put my little dotted line here. Remember the general rule is whatever you do to one side, you got to do the other side. Now the first thing I want to do in this one though is simplify. So I can distribute this 2 to both. So distribute that 2, we're going to get 2x minus 10 minus 4x equals 12. And now we want to simplify this left side, combine like terms. Now I have 2 x's here, so I'm going to combine them. There's a 2x and a negative 4x. 2 minus 4x, they're different signs, so subtract, and I'm going to get negative 2 minus 10 equals 12. And now once you get to here, it's just solving a two-step equation. So we want to get rid of this portion of it first. So we're going to add 10 to both sides. And we're going to get negative 2x equals 22. And then we're going to divide both sides by negative 2. So you get x divided by x equals negative 11. And when you divide by negative, positive divided by negative is a negative. So there we go. Then we could check our work. You could plug back in and see if it works. The next one right here, 1/3 x plus 8 equals 0. So in this case, I can't simplify anything, so we're just going to solve it. First thing you want to get rid of is a positive 8. So we're going to subtract 8 from both sides. Right? It's a positive, you want to do the opposite. Over here, these cancel out. I'm left with 1/3 x equals 3 minus 8, right? Different signs, so we're going to subtract. I'm going to get 5 and a negative 5 at that. 8 minus 3 is 5. 8 is the bigger number, so it's negative. Now I have 1/3 x, right? The way you get rid of the 1/3 is multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to multiply both sides by 3 over 1. That 5 is over 1 if you're not sure. Over here, these cancel out. You just get x. And on this side, just multiply across. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15 over 1, or just negative 15. Move on down. Do another one here. Same idea, we're going to simplify this one first. So distribute that 3 to both of them. 3x minus 24 minus 5x equals 18. Next, we want to add like terms on either side. So on this left side, I can add like terms. I got 3x minus 5x, which is mean negative 2x minus 24 equals 18. Right, now it's this two-step equation. Get rid of this extra plus part. So we're going to add 24 to both sides. These cancel, you get negative 2x equals 2, carry the 1, 42, and divide by negative 2. X equals negative 21. Let's go down to the next one. Now this one, it's a fraction, so I'm going to show you, we're going to do it in 2 methods. So method 1, just kind of doing the same thing we've been doing. So I want to get the x by itself. So I want to move over that 8, right? Isolate this part first. So that's the first step. So I want to isolate the variable, so we want to get rid of that 8. So I'm going to go plus 8 to both sides. Whatever you do one side, you got to do the other side. These will cancel out. You're left with 2 times x plus 4 over 3 equals 40. And now here we do have a fraction 2/3, so you can multiply by the reciprocal if you want, or you can take it step by step. Let's get rid of that dividing by 3 part. So let's multiply both sides by 3. these will cancel out. You get 2 times x plus 4 equals 120. And then from here you could simplify, I guess we'll do that. We can simplify both sides, or you can divide by 2 and solve it. Either way is fine. Let's simplify, that's why we've been talking about it. So 2x plus 8 equals 120. And then from here it's just a normal two-step equation. Eliminate that 8 from both sides. 2x equals 112. Divide by 2. I'm going to get 56 equals x. So that's one way to do it, right? Just doing it the same way we've always been doing it. Try to isolate the variable. So you add 8 to both sides, and then you have this ugly fraction. Get rid of the denominator first. Multiply both sides by the denominator, and then solve it. What's the other way to do it? Well, the other way to do it, it's like we talked about in the previous video, you can multiply everything by the LCD. So this is over 1, it's over 1. LCD here is pretty simple, it's just going to be 3. So we're going to multiply everything by the LCD. Multiply everything by the LCD of 3. Then what happens is right here, these cancel out, and you're left with 2 times x plus 4. The middle here we have negative 8. It's kind of hard because I covered it, but negative 8 times 3 is 24, so minus 24. And then over here we have 32 times 3. So that's going to be 96. And then once you get here, just simplify like normal, right? Let's distribute and simplify. 2x plus 8 minus 24 equals 96. And then add up like terms is the next thing you do, right? So remember, before you start solving, if you can add up like, you got to simplify if you can't. So I'm going to simplify these two first. 8 minus 24 is negative 16. So then we want to get rid of that 16, so plus 16 on both sides. Okay, whatever you do one side, you do the other side. So 2x equals 112, and we were just here. Divide by 2, and x equals 56. So there we go. Okay, last thing. How do we solve consecutive integer problems? So consecutive integers are things that go in orders, like 3, 4, 5, or 12, 13, 14, right? Consecutive. What's the pattern? Let's call this x. The first one's x. How do you get the next one? Well, we just added 1 to that. So this would be, the next one just be x plus 1. This is x. You add 1 to it, you get 4. And then likewise, you add 1 to that. X plus 1 is just x plus 2. And so on. Those are consecutive integers. If you do consecutive odd integers, that's something like you go 3 and then 5 and then 7. I'm not sure why I started at 3. It's just the way it's been going. You can also do like 101, 103, 105, and so on. Right, those are consecutive odd integers. So in this case, this is your first one's x. How do you get to x? How do you get to 5? You're adding 2. And then how do you go from 5 to 7? You add another 2. So this will be x plus 2, x plus 4. Right, you're changing by 2 every single time. Over here, you're just changing by 1 every single time. So you're adding 1 to each term. Over here, we're adding 2 to each term. And what if it's 3? What if it's consecutive even? Well, it's kind of the same thing. So like 2, 4, 6, 8. Or, I don't know, 10, 12, 14, just to give an example. Right? So this is my x. How do you go from 2 to 4? You added 2 to both sides. You added 2 to it. So x plus 2. And then how do you go from 4 to 6? You add another 2. So 2 plus 2 would be 4. So anytime you're doing consecutive integers, if it's just normal consecutive integers, you just add 1. So it's x plus 1, x plus 2. If it's odd or even, it doesn't matter, because each case you're kind of skipping a number, so it's 2 away. It's always 2 away, and it's odd or even. So in that case, you do x plus 2, and x plus 2, x plus 4. So let's do a couple of quick examples, and then we can get out of here. The sum of 3 consecutive integers is 132. So first part here, the sum, that means we're going to add them up, of 3 consecutive integers. So what is that? That's x plus 1, x plus 2. Right? It's consecutive integers, not even or odd, so it's normal consecutive integers. So it's x plus 1, x plus 2. Let's see the next one. It did say sum, so we're going to add these up. So plus, plus. And anytime we see is means equals. So is 132. So that's our equation. And all we have to do is solve this to find the 3 consecutive integers. So what do we do first? So we simplify each side, just like we did up there. Right, first thing you do is you try to simplify each side. So here I can add the x, 1x plus 1x plus 1x gets me 3x. And you can add the constants. 1 plus 2 is 3. That equals 132. And once you have it simplified, now it's just a normal two-step equation. Let's get rid of that 3. Whatever you do one side, you gotta do the other side. Let's bring that up here. 3x equals 129. Then divide by 3. So I get to here, and like, just 12 divided by 3 is 4, and then 9 divided by 3 is 3. So 43. Now I have to watch out, that wasn't the question. The question wasn't what's x. There's no x in the problem, right? It's what are the 3 integers. If my first integer is 43, my next one would be 43 plus 1, which is 44, and then 45. So my 3 integers, I should say the 3 integers, 3 consecutive integers technically, are 43, 44, and 45. So the answer is the 3 integers are 43, 44, 45. So the last one, let's do the same thing, but with 4 consecutive odd integers. So a couple things here, right? It's 4 of them, and they're odd integers. So if I start at x, the next one's going to be x plus 2. Then I'm going to go x plus 4. After that, I still need another one, so I have to go and plus another 2, so x plus 6. Now let me move these just real quick so I can get some space. And then again, we are summing them up, so we're going to add them up. And again, we say is always the equal sign, so is 296. So that's our equation. And just like before, we're going to solve it. First thing we do is you have to simplify the left-hand side. So you add up all those like terms, so out of all those x's, we have 4 of them. Add all the constants. 2 plus 4 plus 6 is 12. Equals 296. And from here, we're just going to solve. So that's minus, right, it's a two-step equation. That's minus 12 from both sides. So I get 4x equals 284. And then we're going to divide by 4. And x equals 71. And again, the question wasn't what's x, it's what are the integers. So we have 71, add 2 to that, 73, 75, and 77. And also, say are odd, so it doesn't work out. And that's the video.